Hello. Okay, at first I didn't want to do this, but I feel like I owe myself this. So, basically, I'm creating a series that is called The Honesty Box, and basically, what it's about, it's let's say a mixture of Kanye West's interviews and a podcast basically. So it's just a stream of thought that I have about anything that crosses my mind, and I just want to show it to the world because I'm not afraid anymore. um my first topic, and it's kind of weird but everybody has it, is fear. um if I should if I could put a definition to fear, I would just say that it's basically everything that keeps you behind of succeeding in life basically. mm, yeah, I just paused for a minute. Like I said, it's a stream of thoughts. I'm always going to just say what comes up to my mind. And fear, I remember a time when I saw one of my favorite idols, and I don't know what happened to me, but fear kept me back from talking to him. And boy, oh boy, do I regret it. And that's why I'm just doing everything that is fear driven, and I'm just gonna keep on doing it until I feel like I should stop, and I don't feel like I should stop. There is no wall holding me. No, there's no brick wall um, keeping me astray. Yeah, okay. Now I'm just. Now I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hmm. Well, I think fear has a lot of layers. Like, there is insecurity. I'm insecure about a lot of things. What are the things that I'm insecure about? Well, I'm insecure about my height. I'm even insecure about talking right now. Um, I'm insecure about the way people look at me. I'm more self-conscious, conscious than insecure. I'm even afraid of uploading this honesty box series, but I just feel like I should just do it and see what happens with it. Um, I usually write the things down. Now I want to record them and show them to the world because I'm not afraid. I'm also afraid of not achieving anything. Hmm. Not achieving anything, that basically means staying the same person you are every year, when I know that I have so much potential and so much stuff to show to the world. Do you know how it feels, mm, to be somebody, and then somebody says to you, okay, for the next 20 years you'll be the same, you'll have the same life, the same house, you live in the same house, you have the same friends, you work in the same place, and you will be paid the same amount of money. I can't imagine living like that. That is basically living in fear, fear of losing one thing. And right now, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Mm, like I said, it's a stream of consciousness, so. Uh, well, insecurities. Okay, basically, the weird thing about me is I'm not really insecure about my height, but I think fear is also made by people. So what that means is, when somebody tells you something, and another person tells you the same thing, and another person tells you the same thing, and then five other persons persons talk about the same topic, then it becomes real. Fear is just in your head. It's in everyone's head, but when it becomes publicly known and not really spoken about, or how to like stop it, well, then it becomes a no, not really a conflict of interest, but more it's basically like Santa Claus. That fear becomes your Santa Claus. It's not real, you know it's not real, but it's still there and people still talk about it like it's real. And that is the type of fear that I hate. And well, coming back to insecurities, people always talk about heights, like I need a guy who is 6 foot tall, I need a guy who is more than 6 foot, I need a guy with 6 foot in height and he has beautiful blue eyes and a light skin and has a huge dick or something. I don't know. It really pisses me off because I think 5'8", and people always make sure to remind me that I'm 5'8". Even though I don't care about my height, I think people care about their height so much that they start talking about other people's height, and that makes them insecure. I don't care about my height, but since people care about height, it's basically Santa Claus all over again, and it's so I start caring about my height, and yeah, I'm in a disadvantage. Not really, but yeah, I think average at best, and people hate average, even though the people who hate average are themselves average, and yeah, I'm just seeing where this podcast will go. The second thing about fear, because fear is basically a layer. There is mild, there is soft, tender, there is grande, just like those cappuccinos in Starbucks. And the third layer is, for me at least, racism. Racism is also based on fear. The Ku Klux Klan put those hoodies on uh, in the 1920s, 19 yeah, in the 1900s. Basically, they put hoodies on to scare off black people because they knew it showed them more dominant without showing them their faces. And now people always link the hoodies of the Ku Klux Klan with the yeah with black people of with the fear. That's basically the fear of black people seeing a Ku Klux Klan member. They will never admit it, but it's really scary. When I was a kid, I heard so much stories about them. I fucking pissed my pants, basically. Um, there was a story where they just beat up a girl with a baseball bat. There were stories about them burning down houses just because they were different, because the people who lived there were different. They were black, Jewish, or I don't know, but they were just different than them. And I thought it was really ridiculous, but still they did it. Um, the thing about racism is it's always based on two things: fear and a majority and a minority. Basically, when there is different types of people and there is one type of people that is in the majority, there they will start to install fear in the minorities so that they keep on remaining the minorities. Um, I don't know if it makes sense for y'all, but for me, that's how, from my perspective, how racism in this day and age is made. Basically, is based on installing fear on people, and I wish it didn't exist, but that's just the way it is. And um, hmm, that fear always makes me think about stuff, but that makes me think like how how can we control our fear? How can we remove our fear? And the only way that I know how to control my fear is to basically accept that I'm afraid of some things, and that's, if I just get a better understanding of it, that it can maybe help me in the future. Like, one of my biggest fears is not achieving anything. That is what keeps me alive. I think even we can even put it that way, that I think fear is a natural thing put in our brain or something that basically tells us, yo, we have to do something or either we're gonna die. And it's just, it has stayed in our brain and now it's still there. That's all. And I think fear is now used to basically get what you want out of life, so that just you could stay at peace. Basically, somebody who is working, he's afraid to lose his job, and then that means yeah, if he loses his job, he's not gonna be able to feed his family, or maybe his kids will lose respect for him or something. And that's what basically that's what basically keeps him awake or makes him come at work on time. But that type of fear, don't like it. I just don't like it. I have that fear too. I work in a factory basically, and I'm always afraid to be late and that the boss will fire me, and I don't like that fear. That's basically mm, a fear of self-worth, basically saying to myself, I'm just worth that job, and if I lose that job, I'm nothing. I'm still myself if I lose that job. I I should just look for something else if I lose that job. That's all. Hmm. The fear of not achieving something is really, 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 really weird. But um, I don't know. I've never thought about never achieving something. I see people not achieving something, and it's because they didn't take the risk. So that's why I'm always gonna take a risk. Even now, I'm thinking about projects for taking risks. I thought about making like a challenge, and it's called, I made it myself up. It's called the 52 challenge. It's basically me talking to 52, picking up 52 girls like in the YouTube videos, and I'm gonna have video footage of it, and I'm gonna discuss all of them, and even the worst of them, I'm just gonna discuss them with my audience and see what happens, um, and see if I can get any better with time. I actually don't care about dating anymore. I just want to see what happens if I do it. I don't know why, but I just feel like doing it. Um, there's there are also other things that I'm afraid of. I can't men I can't say them on the top of my head, but I'm also afraid of public speaking. I'm afraid of talking to new people, meeting new people, trying new things. That's why I'm trying new things. I'm forcing myself to try this and see if it works. Um, and I'm also trying to make like a comedy series, because I personally always wanted to be a comedian, but where I'm from, there's not a lot of opportunities. So I'm gonna make like a small cartoon series. I'm gonna sketch them and tell a story behind them, and make sure that they're funny. Maybe add some gifs, music, um, and hope to get a target audience with it. Um, Basically, podcast, this is the first time that I'm speaking, and I'm really, really nervous about it. You can even hear it. Basically, it's 1 in the morning, and yeah, it's actually my birthday too. But yeah, it's 1 in the morning, and I'm just checking everything and how long I can speak, and That's also another thing I noticed about myself. I don't speak a lot, and when I get the space to speak, I'm at a loss of words. So yeah, that happens a lot with me. But with the small cartoon series that I'm about to make, I hope it doesn't happen that often. And even if it happens, I'm gonna edit it. Yeah, I'm not a good editor, but I'll edit it out. The podcasts, I don't care if I fail or if I spell or if I make grammar mistakes, and I make a lot of grammar mistakes, and I don't give a shit. It's just me being as honest as possible and showing it to the world that I'm not afraid to be honest. I always say to my friends, I'm always trying to be honest and always chasing as much possible the truth. And the truth is that everybody around me is afraid, but they're not ready to admit that they're afraid. So I'm the first one to admit it. I'm afraid of a lot of things, and I'm trying to at least accept those fears. I don't know if I can get rid of those fears, but at least I'm gonna accept them the way they are and just move on with my life and see what I can do about it. I don't know other things to talk about, so that's why I chose fear, because I'm afraid to make this podcast. I'm afraid to make my dreams come true. I'm afraid to go to school sometimes because I didn't study for a test. Um, yeah, and you're gonna hear a lot of for my first podcasts. Maybe later on it will go away those but now I'm at a little bit of loss of words, but over time I hope it will go away. Um, by the way, if you want to support me, um, I'll put everything in the description so that you can support my vision. Basically, this right now what I'm doing is a vision. I just said to myself I have to try to do this. Not I don't want to become famous. I just want to become more honest with myself and chase the truth the way it is. And I think by forcing myself to always outdo myself every year, I can do that. And yeah, that's what I'm basically doing right now. And yeah, the ones who are hearing it, you basically are helping me doing that with my vision. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just creating a path and see what's gonna be at the end of it. Well, yeah, basically that's everything of the honesty box. Um, don't I'm really gonna work on that 52 set challenge and also on my comedy stuff. Thanks for listening to my first podcast, and yeah, yeah, that's basically it. I think everything that you need to know about me, I'll put it in the description, and yeah, I'm out.